Hey everyone, just want to say thanks for the great year of sharing all this content. If you like what I'm doing, please subscribe. It'd be great to grow the audience slightly more. And this might be the last one for the year. So we're just going to do some kind of just strange curve things using some random points and some pufferfish. So let's get started. So I'm just typing Grasshopper right away. We'll try to make this all parametric today. Let's just type in box so we kind of have a parameter, and let's get some points in that box. Populate 3D. Okay, and by default it's at 100. We're going to turn that down to, let's say, 20. Okay, and I'm just going to space that out. I'm going to type in interpolate. That's for an interpolated curve. Okay. And if we turn all the other stuff off, we should just end up with one singular curve in there. Zoom into it a little bit, see what we're doing. Okay, and we're just going to copy and paste this down, just like so. We'll give the second one a different seed, so they're not the same. I'm going to tone this curve down so it's not so complicated. Okay, and what I want to do next is divide out the top curve so we can start to make kind of these kind of moire effects. So let's divide it out quite a bit. Let's type in 200 for now, and we can mess with that later. And what we're going to do next is we're going to orient the bottom curve onto all these divided points. So we'll type in orient, and we'll put the G to the bottom curve and the B to the top. And by default, our A is already at 0, 0, 0. So we don't need to touch anything there. Okay, and if we hide everything, you'll see that we start to get this kind of crazy formation. All right, and we can mess with the number of them really quickly. We can make it less complicated, right? So there's kind of an elegance to less, and we can have hundreds upon thousands of different variations of this. So. All right, and then just add a little bit more complexity to this. Let's type in rotate. Okay, we're going to rotate these curves. We're going to change our angles to degrees instead of radians. And we're going to rotate around the XZ plane. Okay, and we're going to place the planes on all the points. Okay, we're going to type in series to make them all slightly different. The count can go directly to the 395, or the number of divided points, and then I'm going to just type in a smaller number for the actual degrees and the steps, since we have so many curves in there. And I'm just going to hide everything, see what the result is. So it's looking pretty cool already. So if we tone that down even further, what's that get us? If we go crazier, it spreads it out quite a bit. So I'm thinking lower for now. What happens if we mess with the number of points here? Does that just make it crazy? Yeah. Still want it to be halfway legible, not super wicked. So that looks pretty nice. I'll tone it down even further. 4 looks pretty good to me. Again, it's all kind of just what you all want. So we could go less, more. Okay, and next we're going to use pufferfish, and there's this really cool mirroring component in here that automatically trims everything. So if we just plug all the rotated into the C there, and we need to give it to the cut plane. So let's see which angle we like more. I'm kind of, let's see, it's kind of hard to tell, but I think I like this side more than the other. Okay, so we're going to cut it on that YZ plane. So we'll type in YZ plane, put in there. Okay, and we can come back and change this, obviously. I'm going to turn off the rotate because, like I said, the pufferfish component already trims it for us. So we have just a nice line that kind of divides everything. Now let's play with where that plane is. So let's construct a point. So we type in XYZ. We'll construct a point there. We're going to move it in the negative X direction. So let's type in, let's do 5, and we'll type in negative. Just like so. And that's going to move that YZ plane for us. Okay, so 5 might be too much. Okay, that's looking pretty cool. All right, that's pretty much what we're looking for today. And so next I'm going to just type in pipe, and then we're going to play with the different settings we already have in here right after this. So for pipe, obviously the radius is way too big right now, so I'm going to type in 0.001. Oop. 0.001. There we go. The segments, we're going to just do 6 segments. I can plug in that radius. 6 segments, so it speeds up the computer. It's not so lagged down. 0.01 only goes to 0.01, but we want it to go a little bit higher than that. There we are. So this is really, really teeny. So we're going to bring that up just so we can visualize a little teeny bit better. Okay, now if we bake that out, I'm going to type in join mesh, so it speeds up our computer. Flatten that out, so it's one single mesh. Okay, we bake that out. Let's go to a render view, see what it looks like. Yeah, it's looking pretty cool. Yeah, it's looking pretty cool. Okay, I'm going to undo that real quick. Let's go back to shaded view. We can hide our mesh. And I want to change basically the radius on these so they're not all the same. It doesn't look so consistent. So I'm just going to use jitter for today. For jitter, like we used in the past, we need a range and we need to construct a domain. Type in domain and we need to construct it. Okay, so the minimum, this might be the highest we want to use. And let's do 0.02. I'll go to our B, and then for the low, let's do quite a bit lower, just like that. Okay, and then we need to give it the number of values it needs to produce, so we'll do a list length. Okay, plug it into our range, plug that into, or the domain into the D for the domain, and then we'll just plug the jitter into the L. And this is going to have to be one single list. So the dotted means it's multiple lists, so we'll just flatten this out. And then what we can do is take the jitter, plug it into our radius, and this should start to come up with some variations to the pipe size. Okay, so I think we need more pipes, and let's change the seed real quick, just see what stuff we can create really quickly. Again, you can do thousands of variations with this. Sometimes random isn't bad. Okay, and to divide, let's turn that up to 50 or 500. Sorry, make it even crazier. Very nice. Let's see what we're getting. There we go. Really nice. Quite pretty. Okay, I'm going to make this value slightly bigger for the radius. So let's do 0.04, give it a huge range. So we start to fill up some of the areas. There we go. So it seems as though it's a solid, but it starts to break up. Really like this. Okay, let's make this value even smaller, 0.003. Okay, delete that out. And let's do 0.05, make it big. All think that's pretty much the desired effect. Okay, I like what it looks like right now, so I'm just going to try to remember seed being 8, and I like it. Let's just try a couple more, see what we get. Okay, apologies for the background noise. The trucks are backing up. So that looks really cool. I think I like this the most. Very cool. Yeah, really, really nice. Okay, so we're going to go with that one. And then one extra thing we're going to do is type in random split list. And from here, just to give it some variation in the materials when we get to Lumion, we'll make it 2 different materials. So random split list, and we're going to take that mesh join. Basically from here, we'll have 2 different meshes that we can start to play with. Just like that. Excellent. So if we click on one of the meshes, we can change the material out to, we'll say, stone wall for now, okay? And then the other one, we'll change it to dark. There we go. Really cool. All right, so let's build our landscape. I'm gonna go back to shaded so this runs a little bit faster. I'm gonna bring it up to the 0, 0 mark. And let's type in bounding box to get our base ready. And we know it's sitting on a ground plane, okay? We're gonna make this kind of squarish. And since it's wintertime and it's around the holidays, we're gonna make it kind of a snow scene. So what I'm gonna do is type in rebuild surface, 125, 125, 33. Looks great. And I'm going to lock our model down. I'm gonna turn off my vertex here. Okay, we're gonna turn our points on. If we go over our select tool, let's start off by making, actually I'm gonna copy this plane really quickly. And let's start off by making, let's see here, let's make it kind of a water snow scene. So let's get some water in front here. Okay, maybe it's a creek bed. It's kind of converging. It's a little bit wider. Okay, let's get it right up next to the model. I'm just going to kind of round out some parts here. Looks good. Okay, we're going to lower that quite a ways. Okay. And now I'm going to actually copy this one because we're going to use this as a grass layer later. Okay. And now from here, I'm going to turn the points on again. And let's make some kind of snow drifts off of these. So from here, I'm just going to make that brush size slightly smaller. I'm just going to do kind of tiny ones. Doesn't need to be everywhere, but just in particular spots. These ones can be a little bit bigger on the distance. Maybe these could be a little bit bigger too. Okay, it's still not in the distance here. Since there's no real snow in Chicago yet, I'm just thinking it's kind of a grassy, early spring kind of scene. Okay. Just like that. We don't need to have these ones selected, so I'm just going to deselect them. All right. Go back to here. It's on the foreground. I don't even know if we'll see it, but more the merrier. We won't see those anyway, so it doesn't matter. Make these brush size a little bit bigger. And for this one, I'm just going to bring it up just a hair. Okay. That might be a little bit too far. We don't need that crazy. And next, I'm just going to hit paste, and that'll be our grass layer. And we can actually change that material if we want really quickly. I'm just going to make that the sand layer for now. Okay, I'm going to have these both selected. Okay, and we're going to type in smooth. Hit OK. Just like that. And I'm going to take the grass layer and just ever so slightly scale it in one direction. I think everyone can see why I'm doing that. So we get some grass patches just happening everywhere. That looks great. Okay, I'm just going to move our model just so it's sitting on kind of some sort of ground. All right, that looks awesome. And let's create our water fill it all in. Okay, we'll bring it lower. Great, let's just change that over to water. And we can type in unlock, and we are all set for Lumion. All right, loaded up in Lumion really nicely. And let's just get to applying some materials to our scene. Let's start off with the grass. Let's see if we can get some grass going here. See, this is why, you know, we bumped up where we want the snow to go, just so the grass almost disappears. So what I want to do is actually just make the grass slightly bigger. Maybe the grass slightly bigger. The curliness we're going to tone down so it kind of leaks through a little bit, and then turn down the gravity force just a hair. Turn down the bending force. I can actually tone down the size of the grass just a bit more now. Okay, we'll leave the length all the way up. And mess with the scale. It's full size. All right. Roughness doesn't really make a difference to me. Perfect. Okay, let's mess with the water. I'm going to try to get a little bit more foam in there. The wave scale, we're going to bring that down. Wave height, we can bring that down too. Bump up the wave scale just a hair more. So it's, looks like it's kind of scalable. Okay. All right. And now Lumion doesn't have an actual snow material, so what we have to probably do is improvise on it just a bit. So we could probably do the sand and turn it completely white. I wonder if they got a better version. What's that look like? That looks more like rock. It's sand. It's a little bit more white. Let's turn the map scale up. So it looks like it's kind of drifting. We'll colorize it so it's just pure white. Get some displacement map in there. Not too much. How's that starting to look a little bit like snow? Yeah. Okay. The relief we can kind of tone down just a hair. The gloss, turn that up. That's starting to look pretty similar to snow. Let's bring the scale up just a bit more. There we go. Now it's starting to look like piles of snow. Now I kind of want to mess with the grass so it kind of bleeds into there a little bit. So let's tone down the grass size. There we go. Perfect. Turn down the map scale just a bit. Bending force I'm going to leave pretty much at 0. There we go. That'll be a nice snow scene. All right. And now I'm not quite sure what we do with this particular the actual model. I don't know about shiny. Yeah, for indoor metal. Nothing's really jiving with me yet. Doesn't look nice. What do we do with this one? Do it kind of grungy. We could do the whole thing grungy, actually. Let's see, aged iron. We could do this. Aged iron as well, maybe. Too similar. Leather could be pretty cool. What happens if we colorize that leather? Let's do that for both of these. Just colorize it. Alright. And we'll probably have to mess with that a little later. But let's get some entourage happening in here. Start with trees maybe. Let's get some kind of dead pieces of wood in here since it's wintertime. else we got here? Get some leaves. Just kind of floating on the coastline. Get a little denser in areas. Very nice. What else do we have here? Throw on a rock? We could throw on a rock. Why not? Rocks are great. I'm going to take both of these and just slide them down so they look like they're more embedded in the landscape. And what else do we have here? Do a couple leafless trees here. It's going to be a snowy scene anyway, so I'll be able to see them too much. Some in the background over here. Just kind of pockets of them. Get what seems to be a kind of a dead bush. Maybe a couple of them. Actually do have a fallen tree, which could look really, really nice in the background here. Maybe a couple. A few variations of that. I know we probably won't even be able to see it, but all is good. Okay, let's get some planting on the ground there. I'm just kind of randomly clicking, obviously, people. Okay, get a couple throughout here. I don't know if you'll be able to see it once we get to rendering. Okay. And let's see here. Get a couple in there. A couple through there. And let's add a person. Let's see, is there anybody in a coat? Potentially. Yeah, there is. Great. All right, we'll just put her in the grassy area. She's just kind of walking in the middle of nowhere. All right, and let's get some birds out there. So we'll come back over here. We're gonna do the cluster thing again. Okay, we're gonna move all of them up. And let's move them over first. Okay, I think we're going to take our view right around here. So we'll move them up so we can see them. Sparrows don't necessarily fly that high, so they fly high, but sometimes when I see people, those kind of come down. All right, I think we're pretty much set. I might add a couple more, just a couple more little plants. I don't want it in the background near our actual model. Maybe by her. Okay. See if we can get some different types of kind of grass happening. Maybe not. I'm trying to do is kind of move the eye just around this whole piece, especially on the ground plane. It looks relatively natural. Okay, I think we're all set for rendering. All right, so we'll probably change the materials, obviously, on this overall thing. But let's do a custom style. Let's do daytime for now. Okay, and what I want to do is change the camera so we have a 2-point perspective. I don't necessarily see a lot of birds, so let's do a time warp. Let's see. Let's get some more birds in the scene. Come on, there's got to be birds somewhere. That might be as good as we're going to get. Okay, let's get some weather happening. Precipitation, change that over to snow. Let's do the quantity, get a lot of snow happening. Get the size kind of big, so it's the nice fluffy stuff. And I don't know if real skies is going to be very helpful for us today. Let's just do a render preview real quick. I think sun might be the winner. Sun. What's that looking for us? It's getting there. Instead of daytime, let's do the overcast. So it really looks like it's snowing. It's definitely looking better. Get near the water, zoom in just a hair. The trees in the background didn't even matter, did they? Okay. Definitely not sure of the materials, but mess with that in just a bit. I think overcast is going to be the winner, folks. And we'll just play with the sun just a bit. See where it's heading. It can be super sunny on days like this, so what happens if we don't have any sun? Still looks like pretty nice rendering. So if we take that sun, let's turn down where it's at. Let's get it back to kind of golden hour. Get some nice highlights in there. There we go. Okay, change the heading. I have to bring that up just a bit more. There we go. Okay. That might be... Oop, I hit the wrong thing. Sorry, folks. Okay. There we go. I just want like nice highlights through there. Looks pretty nice. Again, the materials are just really bothering me, so we'll get to work on those next. So I'm going to go back and let's switch those out. Not quite sure what they should be. Let's see, indoor. I wonder if we could do something with curtains. What's this one to be? See what that looks like real quick. Could look really bad. Not necessarily feeling that either. Kind of miss all the articulation that we put in there. Let's try that again. Let's go back. Let's go to stone. It's the same stone as what we had. What's that look like? Could look bad, could look good, who knows? That's looking better. Definitely looking better. Yeah. What's it look like from this side? Either one could work. I like the other side because I don't like these little portions sticking out. So let's just go back. Okay. And let's try to boost the reflectivity on here. Okay. I kind of like that, that's for sure. Okay. Let's just bring up that sun height just a hair more. Okay. Again, apologies for the background noise. I don't know what's going on outside. This could look cool too. Actually, I kind of like this the most. Aged stone. Let's see if we can bring the relief up on that to its fullest. Yeah, and then if we go to weathering, let's bring up that weathering as much as we can. Get that rust going. Hit OK. There we go. It's starting to look pretty sweet. Okay. As for the precipitation, I'm not quite sure we're getting all the snow we want kind of in the coverage. Okay. If we tone down the excess fog here, so we go full, it means it goes really bad. If we go less, what's that mean? That's pretty cool. Let's go back to here. I'm going to turn down that weathering just a hair. Okay. It's kind of like a candy cane now. Perfect for the holidays. Perfect. Okay. Awesome. I think this might be it. Looks great. Okay. Well, let's hit render. And I believe we're at 65. Yeah, it's looking pretty cool already. I think that's all set and ready to go for Photoshop. So I'll just let this render out and we'll take it right over to Photoshop. All right, so we have the image all here in Photoshop. I'm just going to test a couple things. Auto tone, auto color. I think I liked kind of the softer blue before. Auto contrast, just see what that gives us. I'm going to hit Control J just to duplicate, and I'm just going to highlight some areas. Just kind of bump the color out just a hair. Okay, get the greens going just a bit more. Just like so. And you can change the brush size by holding Alt and then right-click drag. That'll help speed up your photoshopping a bit. And then we'll just add the vignetting that we always do. And I believe this is all finished. Just extra thanks to everyone for watching. Again, if you're not following, please follow. It'll help bring the audience higher. And it's been a good year, a little bit stranger than most. And I hope everyone out there is doing well. And I hope they get to spend some time with their families and have a great holiday break and a happy new year. So thanks a bunch. give me a follow, give me a like, and we'll be talking to you in 2021. Thank you.